What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Panels on Pages. My name is Dalibor Zujovic, and today we are doing a comic book review of Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. This was written by Michael Mannheim and beautifully illustrated by Simon Beasley. And let me just tell you about the backstory of this first, right? Now, if you pick this book up, it is a hardcover. I believe it's available. You see my little signature here that I got at C2E2 2015. If you do pick this up, you can read this whole thing, but I'm just going to give you a quick summary. Basically, this was a pitch back in like the 2001 era for a video game under 3DO. If you don't know what 3DO is, they produced this thing and some video games. But as they were building this out, Simon Beasley was hired on right away to start the design work, and actually some of that design work is in the back of this book. Tons of great bonus material in this, including some of the video game like pre-concept, previs stuff. Super, super awesome bonus material in this. And you know me, if it's a hardcover, it's got to have bonus material. They start building out this game, right? Simon Beasley's doing the artwork, they're designing characters. 3DO goes under, right? 3DO goes under, and it's like, crap. All right, well, we can't make the game. Let's try to make a graphic novel out of it, right? So they partner with Vogstar Entertainment. I had to look down and check it because I couldn't remember it. Vogstar Entertainment LLC, and they start working on another game with them. So they're trying to bring the game back, but they're also trying to put this graphic novel together, and they're working on it. Vogstar goes under. Man, right? So then we're pushing into the end of the first decade of the new millennium, and they finally hook up with Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal decides to produce this book and publishes it in 3 volumes, and then eventually Titan Comics picks this bad boy up and puts together this omnibus. So this is published by Titan Comics, and I gotta tell you, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous book. Wonderfully drawn. I mean, it's Simon Beasley. Like, Simon Beasley does great work. I mean, look at this. Look at this war. Look at this war. I mean, this is fantastic. Like, the designs are very interesting because they're not just like classic Four Horsemen styles, and they're not also like hyper modernized. You know, there's like a blend of the two. The lore of this secret society that has been protecting. So if you don't know, I know very little and mostly through the Darksiders games, but basically the premise, the setup for the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse in biblical terms is that there are 7 seals that, once broken, will unleash the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse on Earth. So there is this Order of Solomon, I believe they just call them Order of Solomon, that protects these seals, and they have split them up across the world to try to do just that. And let me tell you, trigger warning here, this book opens with this man apparently looking at a crucifix and acting like he's talking to God and saying, how can you ask me to commit this sin and kill myself? So, man. And he says, all right, fuck it. Pulls the trigger, and that's our first 2 pages. Our first 2 pages is the first character we're introduced to. It seems like a crazy person and takes their own life. Then we go 6 days earlier. We go 6 days earlier. We go through the whole story. We find out more about the character. He's got a family, and he is part of this Order of Solomon. He is called in the middle of the night. They're like, hey, some shit is popping off. You got to come. So he shows up, and then he finds out that they're actually targeting his family because they knew he had 2 of the seals. So they go after his family. He's got to run back. He's all the way across the world in Jerusalem, I believe. And he's like, no, I gotta go back. I gotta take care of my family. He gets back just in time to see his wife murdered, but his daughter does survive. He ends up giving her to the Vatican so they can protect her, gives her one of the seals so she can protect it, and sets out to stop whoever is trying to break the seals and unleash Armageddon. Mind you, we are 7 pages in at this point. Do you see what I'm saying? This is a high-stakes, action-packed comic book. Absolutely love it. I see some of the moments where, you know, the decision making, some of the action scenes. I see where the video game of it could have been, and honestly, I hope that they're still working on this. The website for this is still active and still paid for. It still represents this property, so I'm hoping that at some point maybe we'll actually get this video game, because I'd play this game. You know, I could see where there are the choices. I could see, you know, like you have level bosses. You know, this is one of the creatures right here that he's got to fight earlier on. And this is I don't want to push too far through this book because I don't want to give too much away, because I really genuinely think it's a great read. If you guys follow me on TikTok, I rolled for this on Sunday and I blazed through it on Monday. It kept me hooked, and I read the entire book on Monday. So like, that usually doesn't happen. Literally Monday night I rolled for 2 much smaller books. Didn't even touch them today. So yeah, that's the problem. Is some books will hook you. Just the premise of it. I think what drew me in for this is I actually thought it was this book, which was the V2K Four Horsemen book from Vertigo back in 2001. I think 2001, by fellow Balkan. Well, the art was by fellow Balkan Dalibor, and I remember reading that. That was a great book, and I thought that was this. So I literally, when I rolled for it, I said, I've read this, so I actually can remember it pretty well. And I flipped through it, and I was like, I've never read this book. I've literally never even opened this book. So I was super happy to have read this. Let me give you a quick preview of some of the bonus material. I mean, here, let's just give you an idea of how much bonus material there is. Okay, so that is our last page there. So this whole section here, I mean, pretty significant chunk. I mean, I'd say like a whole comic book's worth of bonus material in the back here. You see some of this early artwork. This is for Pestilence. Like you see the design process for it. You see how there's like several pieces for Satan. I believe he was in it like in reference one time. He's not in it. So I mean, like there you can see where like the story's changed from the original intentions. This is some of the early sketches for War, which I love the different variations of him. I actually would have kind of liked a little more of this, a little more kind of like slapped together, like various different instruments of War. I kind of dig that. But at the same time, you see like the turnarounds, like the 3D model down here. This is so cool. I would love to play this game. I really, really would. Here's some of the actual in-game. And if you actually check out YouTube, you can find a quick cinematic out of this. Of course, I'll have the affiliate link for this so you can pick it up on Amazon. The website's not, I mean, it's active, like it's on, but it's not active. Like their Facebook page just posts memes now. So I don't, maybe like a kid, one of their kids or something, you know, runs it. I don't know, but if there is a valid shop link on the website, of course, I'm going to link it in the description and the show notes. If there is not, there'll be an affiliate link on Amazon, and if you decide to pick that up, I appreciate you. That helps me pay the bills. If you've read this, or if you do end up picking this up and reading it, make sure you drop me a comment or hit me up on Twitter at the Indie Hype Man. Yes, I'm going to call it Twitter until the day it dies, because it's going to die way before me. I'm not going to call it fucking X. That's stupid. Anyway, hit me up on Twitter at Indie Hype Man, and TikTok at Indie Hype Man. Yeah, let me know what you think about it if you have any thoughts. That's going to be it for this one. Just a quick book review. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yo, and I don't know if I could be better. And I peep your numbers, they a joke, boy, that's a Heath Ledger. Y'all low is lame, I compete better, look. Bet the over and I hammer that. I don't disappear when the camera flash.